Hey, Shalom Israel. This is the Isupk coming out of 1 West Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana. We are not affiliated with no Israelite group, period. No group at all for that matter. I am Officer Kananya, along with Officer Ayar. And we're going to be coming at you today, talking to you a little bit about brotherhood. Also pulling some scriptures that goes along with the times, and also trying to throw a little bit of current events in there as well, mixing it all together. I want to start this class off with a scripture that Salakia, one second. Man, I had it in my head. With Barak chapter 3 and verse 8, because this is something that's constantly on our backs throughout our lives and our time here in America. Ever since we touched down or got off them boats, this is something that we have been subject to ever since then. It has not let up. It has only gotten worse. Even with some of us owning our own, it's gonna be in the apocrypha. Even with some of us owning our own land and our own houses and things, this has still affected us in a major way. And also, this got to do with everything that we do here in America. This scripture right here got something to do with everything that we do here in America, no matter what it is. It seems like as soon as you're born, this scripture applies to you ASAP. Like even like from a toddler on until you able to do anything. This scripture applies to you ASAP.
What's the scripture?
Barak chapter 3 and verse 8. It looked like it say Baruch, but it's pronounced Barak. You know what I'm saying? This scripture is something that we all feel as a people in our captivity in America.
What?
Chapter 3, verse 8. You can get a little bit of this if you can like pour it in something. Yeah. I'm cool with that.
All right, so I'm there. Baruch 3
yeah,
and
you
what?
can read that real fast. Chapter 3 and verse 8.
All right. Baruch chapter 3, verse 8. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity.
Hold on right there. Now it says, behold, we are yet in this day still in our captivity. Our captivity hasn't led up till this day. Read on.
Where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse.
It's one of the curses that we are under still to this day, because our people won't wake up. Our people won't stop celebrating these holidays. Our people won't stop smoking that weed. Our people won't get off these drugs. Our people won't stop, showing our tails on TV or for anything. Like it seems like we can, as a people, we can be bought for a price. Like I want you to keep going, but I want you to hold on real quick. I got a perfect example. The lady named Tiffany Haddish. Now, if you go check up on her backstory, you know what I mean. She is completely not from the ghetto at all. She was raised with a white family in the suburbs, nice housing, nice grass, all that. But they pay her to act as ratchet as she can. That's the perfect example. You can go on.
Oh, and to be subject to payments.
Start right there. We are definitely subject to payments in everything we do. Whether we get a car, we have to pay for the parking on the street. We have to pay for that car to continuously get registered, even though we registered it last year. The same car, same tire, same look. We didn't change a thing on it, but we have to pay for that car somehow just to park on their streets, even though ain't the streets supposed to be public? You know what I mean?
Right.
What else?
I mean, and also if I could too, once you're late on a payment, and if you forget a payment, that payment just doubles and triples up.
Exactly, hitting you more and more in your pockets. Then that should let you know right there that this place don't care about us. They only care about the revenue, what we can make, what money that we can pay them. You know what I mean? Not only the parking, the little stickers that come on the license plates. We can be pulled over for these things, taken to jail for little minor things like that. We not breaking in people's houses. We not holding people up. They not looking for the criminals and the drug dealers and nothing. They looking for any little thing they can to lock you up, to throw you behind that wall so you can. That's worse slavery right there. And to make it even worse than that, that's still in the Constitution. That's in the Constitution. Once you go to jail, you are a slave essentially. You don't have no rights essentially. You work for what, 80 cents a day or something. I'm not sure how much. Less than that. 50 cents a day, 40 cents a day. I
heard it was like 20.
20 cents a day. Not even counting. Now, I'm pretty sure that's prison or something like that. Yeah. So not even counting the county. If you're in the county for a year or two, I'm pretty sure you only could be in the county for a year or two or something like that. But not even counting that, then once you get behind them bars, ain't nobody going to continue to pay your bills. Ain't nobody going to continue to pay your rent. So it depends on who you live with, who is around you, who in your household to help carry on that burden, or them payments, that you have to do monthly. Because if you stop on just a month or two of payments, they eviction notice. You know what I'm saying? Violations, all these things to where you locked up. So if you locked up, your payments don't stop, but your ability to make money stop. And that's what the scriptures say. You are subject to payments. And we can take it past that. We said rent, we said cars. You have to eat every day, food, transportation. What they only give bus rides free on so-called New Year's Eve, or
right.
Christmas, or something like that. Like, y'all make so much money a year, y'all can't make it an annual thing other than those days to make a bus free or something with free transportation this day or this day.
If I could too, like at the once a year, you gotta do your taxes.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And like, man, this is me personally. You know what I mean? I couldn't even afford to do my taxes. You know what I'm saying? Because you gotta pay for somebody to do your taxes.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So and that was a little over $400 to do my taxes. I mean, no, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And then on top of that, you gotta be able to trust the people that do the taxes too, because this happened to me just recently, maybe a year ago. I'm looking for, because I guess the person that I was, usually get my taxes done was going through some things. They couldn't do my taxes that time. So I had to look for a new person. So I'm looking for this new person. I obviously worked that whole year. I had a job for over 6 months, you know what I mean? So I'm expecting at least, not even that much, maybe a couple thousand or something.
Damn.
This person called me back talking about, oh, you only getting 500. I'm like, how on earth is that?
You're getting 500, but you still owe this and this and that.
I'm like, how is that? So once the person said that, I went to my old person again. Luckily, they was back on their feet or back to a place where they could do my taxes. They said, oh, you getting 25. This person was trying to take half of your money or whatever. I'm like, see, you got to be able to, even though the system out here talking about you subject to payments, not only them, it's thirsty people out here also on top of that. They subject to payments too, but they still looking to get over on you. They still looking to, have enough for them to pay they payments and get over on you at the same time. You got to be able to trust people and stuff like that, even though we in our captivity and we still subject to payments. What else? Light bills. All these bills we have to pay monthly.
Including deposit when you first move in.
Exactly. And then if you made a mistake, put a hole in the wall or something, doing anything, there go your security deposit.
Oh, there goes security.
Like you subject to payments in all ways. All ways. And like to piggyback on what you were saying earlier about the taxes, they already tax your check. So once they tax your check, you already getting less than what you made, right? You go to the store, you paying for something, it's taxes on that. Like, not only that though, you go to the ATM that's not your bank, they taking $2-3 every time you transactional. Like, how is y'all taxing me on money that I already supposedly made if I don't go to this specific bank? Go ahead.
And if I could just lock it, the cool part about it is like you don't know where this money is going to. We don't get a receipt where this money is going to. They
Exactly.
Just take it.
Exactly. Like everything we do, ever since we landed, ever since we born, ever since we get old enough, we subject to payments. Not to mention the influences. You see somebody that got some new shoes, or you see a hot new ride, and you want that. So that's like even more taking money out your pocket. You know, they make it hard for you to save, and they make it to where you continuously spend it on bills. That's why Baruch says you are subject to payments no matter what you do. You a homeowner? Oh, you still got to pay that mortgage. you a landowner? Got to pay, what is it, property tax or land tax?
Property tax,
something like
mortgage.
That. Yeah. And not to mention what the farm people got to pay. I don't even know nothing about that. With people who own farms, I'm pretty sure they got to pay something.
Because there's a conspiracy about people that own farms.
Oh, for real?
You know the conspiracy?
Nuh-uh.
So these big companies, these big corporate companies that are control the food industry.
Oh, I think I heard that.
Them out
to make processed food or something.
Yeah, because you know the farms, the people that own the farms, man, that's like our only hope for clean food.
Yeah.
You know, without pesticides and steroids and all this type of illegal stuff that they're putting and injecting into the meats.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So the farm people that own the farmers, those people are like our only hope. We can actually eat clean. You know, but these companies are buying them out, so they won't.
And Salaki, if I could, I think I heard something about that because what do they say? Bill Gates them just bought over 50 farms or something like that, and this man been talking about clone things like that. Like it's not Salakia, but that goes to show you they want control over our lives and over our money. We ain't got no free money to do nothing nowadays. Even though minimum wage is higher, the cost of living is extra high. You know what I mean? Even in Atlanta, I used to go visit Atlanta every year. You know what I'm saying? Because my great grandma, she turned 100 next year or something like that. But I used to go every year. We used to go every year. You know what I'm saying? Around her time, when I was back in the world, her birthday, because she like a what you call that? And they just said it that lady was saying it in that event. What she said she was? She said she was not a pillar. She said like a connoisseur or something like that. Well, to make a long story short, she the oldest woman in our family, so we would just go there. Like I said, she turned 100 next year, so we would just go there every year to celebrate her. You know what I'm saying? So I noticed that every year we went, and I planned on moving to Atlanta. I planned on that, but every year we went, the cost of living to go up. Even though I heard Atlanta was one of the cheapest places to live. But now they got the cost of living going up, and up. You know what I'm saying? They constantly finding ways to get into our pockets. You know what I mean? When, like I said before, the parking, that should be free. Them tags on our 24, them little them little tags on the license plate, 24, 25, them should be, it should be every 2 years or something like that, but they steady hitting us every year, registering the same car, whatever it is. They making the gas prices go up and down. They making like
car insurance.
They making it mandatory. You can be driving clean, clear, and under control, like Vagisil or whatever. Exactly. And then if you ain't getting that money back, you just paying for you not getting that insurance money back. That's a conspiracy right there. You paying you paying $250 a month. You know what I'm saying? Every month you paying this until you bought your car off. You ain't never had an accident. All that money should come back to you because you didn't have no accident, but it don't. So that's another thing. Where is that money going?
Right. I mean, they should at least have it in some type of account. You know what I mean, for emergencies if you don't have the money to pay for the damage.
You know? Instead, we subject to payments, like, and they making it to where that's how it is. Like that's a law to have car insurance, or what? You going to jail? Like I'm going to jail for not having car insurance. Really? When there's hundreds of missing kids, you can go into any grocery store, any basically any grocery store is where I'm seeing it the most at. Any grocery store, right when you walk in, where the buggy's at, it's a wall full of missing kids. You mean to tell me not having insurance is more important than all these kids that's missing? And that's a conspiracy right there. But you know, we like to throw in a little bit of conspiracies in the brotherhood class. But yeah, so we are subject to payments, man. Not to mention the court system, the child support, the false the little false things in that. You know, the abortions cost. Even though we don't agree with no abortions, but they cost $200 to, I don't know how much they cost. I ain't never got one, but them cost. You know what I mean? Anything you can think of costs. It costs to go to school. Like you want me to pay to get smarter? That's crazy. That's crazy right there. Education, something should be free. We ain't having this supposed to be the land of the free. But ain't nothing free. That's how they get you. That's how you know what's free? You free to act out, act wild, act all kind of abomination ways. That's what's free.
But there needs to be consequences behind that too.
But not unless you with the the broke wrist gang. The LMNOP community. You can do whatever. Yeah, you know it. You can do whatever. They gonna look at you like, oh, he good. You can, as a man here, what I find so crazy, as a man, you can act like a woman and it's totally normal. Like the majority don't see nothing wrong with that. They definitely encourage it. They put it on TV. You know who encourages it the most? So, sorry to tell y'all, the black woman. She be like, because back in my day, they used to beat them down. You can't come around here acting all flamboyant, if you will. I'm getting more creative with these. Can't come around here acting more all flamboyant. You better walk straight and do that over there. Not around here. You would get beat down or something to happen to you, because the Bible is clearly against that. But it seems like more and more they get away from the Bible's tradition and they make it seem okay, But that's a whole nother story. We're talking about subject to payments. If you want to transition your child, you have to pay for that. You have to pay for any and everything that you want to do. Health insurance. That should be free. It should be free to try to save my life. I have to pay for that. Like, I remember a couple years ago, I broke one of these thumbs. Now, I just went into, I remember like it was yesterday, the hospital on Burleigh Street. It's like St. Mary's or something like that. St. Joseph's or something. I went in there, man, and me not thinking I should have just went to a little clinic or something. I went in there. They took an x-ray and wrapped it up. $850. All y'all did was check. They said, yeah, it's broke. We gonna wrap it up. Not even a real cast. They put like some mechanism on there saying send me out. A couple weeks later, I get a bill $850.
Yeah,
Like,
and
bro,
sometimes they'll tell you, you know what I mean, if you want an injection, you want what's your pain levels, oh, we got a bill for that.
mm-hmm.
You slapping bills on top of bills.
Subject to payments. They keep us down so we can't flourish. They keep us unable to save money. We always constantly happen to dip in our savings. And that so-called pandemic it wasn't nothing. It didn't make anything easier. Even though we wasn't working, we was getting these grants and things like that. But it still was hard because certain places was closed. You had to stay in the house all day or whatever the case was. Essential workers and stuff like that. Like, and then certain places you had to, if you ain't getting these jabs, you out the door. That was messing people's lives up right there. Come to find out years later, it came out on the news. Like, I ain't no doctor or nothing like that. I'm the first to say that first and foremost. Came out in the news that these jabs or whatever, they ain't really affect nothing. You still can catch it. Like, what am I getting this for? Talking about you ain't gonna be as sick. I'm still sick. If I'm getting this preventative medicine to prevent me from having it, I shouldn't have it. So why, if I get it, I still can catch it and all this? So that didn't make no sense.
Yeah, I know people that took the jab and got sick because of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
all kind of
and
stuff.
Then got the COVID 3 more other times.
It seemed like it would make you more susceptible to get sick. I know people that passed from that, man. As soon as they got the jab, they gone. Like, what happened to dude? Oh, he had COVID, man. He gone. Damn, he was just good. I'm talking about good. We was just playing basketball. He said, "Oh, I'm about to get the jab next week." Got it next week. I ain't seen him since. But we ain't no doctors over here, man. We ain't telling y'all what to get, what y'all can't get. I'm just saying we are subject to payments through the hospitals, through transportation, even the jobs. Certain things, like I know certain things at my job, at my slave, Salaki, we have to pay for it. Like if we lose our glasses or something like that, if we lose them safety arm things, we have to pay like $5 to get more. Man, y'all got 17 boxes in the back, free, stocked up, but we gotta pay for it. That's crazy. Any and everything, whether it be cell phone bills, and these iPhone bills be up there, like 100, 120 per phone though. Don't let you have 3 lines. Man, that's 120 per phone. When back in the day, them landlines used to be what? $20, $30 a month. $40, $50. Now they want you to pay $119 for service until the next 119 payment. They is getting back. That's what they used to say in the streets. I'm getting back with these payments. I'm talking about everything. Cell phone bill. Now they got a new thing. What? Wi-Fi. You paying that every month. Like it's crazy. It seems like every year or every couple years, every 3-4 years or something, they come out with another method or another invention to have us keep paying, to have us keep being subject to payments.
Right. And there's even conspiracy even with the Wi-Fi.
It's conspiracy about everything. I'm telling y'all, we ain't bullshit.
I remember it was 3G, 4G. Now we got 5G.
Mm-hmm.
But even say that like the 5G, like I guess 5G supposed to be like for like big companies, a company that's running a lot of electronics. You know what I mean? But now they're like, it's in every home now. And exactly. I have a buddy in Eastern Oregon where he installs that type of stuff, and he was telling me like it said like warning, cancer causing. And,
And then that's another thing. That's why I want to say this too to PSA out there. You go to sleep at night, don't keep your phone on the charger by your head. It's some radiation stuff going on with that. I can't explain it right now, but and I want to speak on that 3G, 4G, 5G thing. Like, what was wrong with 3G?
Right.
It was going perfectly fine. What was wrong with 4G?
Right. But like I said, it was for these companies and these corporations. But why do we need that shit in our house?
Exactly. And then not only that, the video games like these video
now
games.
there's phones that where they don't, you can't go back to 3G or 4G if you wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
It's recommended 5G.
You can't even turn it on. Like I keep most of my cell phone. I got this HTC phone. Turn it on, it say, "Oh, this is not compatible with nothing." Like 3G gone. I'm like, what? I'm just trying to look through what you know how you have an old phone, you might want to look through the pictures or something like that.
Right.
They're like, man, you can't even look through this, man. I'm like, wow, it's crazy. Like, and then that's an even more uh conspiracy, even though I don't want to say it's a conspiracy. Uh, iPhones again, all you iPhone users, be careful, because them cameras don't turn off. They constantly taking pictures of you and stuff like that. Even with the plasma TVs, like you think the TV is off, but it's definitely recording some.
It's called a smart TV for a reason.
Yep, it's called a smart TV, smartphone. You got tablet, you got all the technology in there. They just watching you, radiationing you, if that's the word. That's crazy. Not to mention these video games though. This stuff don't get unplugged. Yeah, so you know that's running up the light bill as well.
That's why I got this thing called EMFs.
Mm-hmm.
I got one on top of my PS4. I got one on the back of my, because you know even the controller, since it's wireless. Yeah. It's shooting out radiation. Man, and then don't let you have all that stuff in one room. You get radiation, right? You about to be a Big Bang baby, like Static Shock. And wonder why we catch cancer so
exactly. And trust me, man. Before I got into the truth, man, I used to be the conspiracy guy. Like I used to, yeah. I used to be the dude. Like, hey, don't do that. Hey, don't be eating those grapes without seeds, all that type of stuff. Man, I used to be on it. I used to be telling moms and them, like, man, unplug that TV, man, when you ain't using it. That's just by it being plugged in, it's still using your electricity. Like,
oh yeah,
it don't stop just because you got to turn. You see that red beam on? I mean, that's using electricity to stay on. Like, you got to unplug these things.
That does work. When you plug everything out, like I remember I did that for like a few months. Like, right before I went to my slave, I unplugged everything. Wi-Fi, everything. I unplugged everything, and it saved me a lot of money, believe it or not.
Yeah, I used to do that too. The only thing that stay on in my house right now is, ironically, the Wi-Fi and the TV. Like, that's crazy. I'm gonna have to start doing that too, because I noticed that, like, when I first moved in this apartment, I used to unplug everything. We Energy's bill came $19. I'm like, oh, okay, that's reasonable. Yeah. You know, that, but as soon as you plug stuff in, boop, boop, that's continuously nonstop generating. Next thing you know, $105. I only got the TV and this plugged up. How's that? You know?
Because it stays on even when it's off.
Yeah, but subject to payments, man. Anything, everywhere. Taxes, you know. It even costs money to do stuff, and that money gets taxed. Whether you want to get on a plane, a flight somewhere, like I said earlier, the gas prices, they going up and down. Trust me, they're going to be going back up, because that new tax season is coming, and that's when it goes up. It goes sky high because these people throughout the earth is buying cars. They buying new cars, you know. So. And they want them people to be subject to payments. Oh, you want to buy a car? Gas $3.50 now. Don't put that in. That's crazy. But yeah, subject to payments, man. And anything you could think of. Now I want to drop that. Now that was a long segment because, and I wanted that to be a long chapter that we talked about, because if you really look at it, we are being hit in our pockets and in our psyche and through our women and through ourselves and through our any way they can, they attacking us. And when I say attacking us, you guessed it, the oppressor is attacking us because you know they don't like that we the chosen ones out of all the families on the earth. They don't like that. You know, they can't just respect it. They can't just. Me personally, I don't understand why they. Well, I know why they mad, but they can't do nothing about it. It's already written and ordained. You know, so I see they're gonna do everything that they can to keep us down, to keep us, keep us pain, keep us sick, and keep us out of what's really going on and what we really supposed to do. But in the ISUPK, we trying to bring people back in here, bring people back to this book. You know, not wearing yellow tassels on our shirts, stuff like that. You know, not with the purple gang. You know who you are. You know, I will say some other things, but back to what I was saying. This what you got to do to snap yourself out of that. Drop that. Is it more on that, or that was the end?
Yeah, I think there was a little bit more on that. According to all iniquities of our fathers, which departed from the Lord our God.
See, it says that's why we are subject to payments, because our forefathers broke the traditions, the commandments, and the laws that the Lord set for us, which is the 12 tribes of Israel. Nobody outside that have to keep those things. They can go. I was gonna say some more explicit stuff, but it's more sensitive on the net these days. So I'm gonna say they can go ahead and go over there and do all that alternative lifestyle stuff. And we gonna keep the traditions over here because we want to come back to that royal state. We want to come back together as a nation and as a people. We want, our royal name back, and this is how you fight for it. Drop that and give me Psalms chapter 119 and 59. Because it starts with you. It starts with yourself. You have to think on this stuff. You have to think about, because I'm paraphrasing, of course. The scriptures say oppression make a wise man mad. So you can't be mad if you being docile smoking that weed. Because once you smoke that weed, you get that spirit of, I don't give a fuck. You get that shrug your shoulder spirit. Something negative happened. Oh, I don't care. I'm hot. Trust me, I know. That's what you get in your, and then once you get that spirit, you know who won? Satan won. Them demons won because they got another soldier out of the fight. They got him content with being high. They got him content of thinking that he can't do nothing. Trust me, I know for sure. I know. And once you hit that weed or whatever, them drugs, it get into your brain where, man, this all I really need is this. Anything that happen gonna happen anyway. What can I do? And you know who won once you start thinking like that? The demons. Satan himself wins. Because that's another soldier out of the fight, and we need everybody we can get. You have to get clean, man. Get off of these drugs that cloud your mind and put negative thoughts and lazy thoughts, docile thoughts that you can't do nothing, to help, thoughts just negatively. It don't put nothing but negative thoughts in your mind, the drugs. And let me elaborate again, because weed is a drug. Well, what people say, it's just a plant. But cocaine is a plant.
Right.
Heroin is a plant. Everything starts out from a plant. You're not supposed to smoke it. We went through this in countless classes, man. Just quit it altogether. Man, you've been smoking since you was 20 years old. You 50 something, 50, 60 something now. You still smoke. When does this get old? Real talk. When does it get old? Because I know even you subject to payments with that, because your addiction go have you wanting more. So you were subject to payments with that. You going to find another, and then they trick you so much with all these different type of flavors when it's all drugs. It's all drugs. How high do you really want to be? You know what I mean? But I got sidetracked. You got that Psalms chapter 119 and 59.
Con. Psalms 119, verse 59. I thought on all my ways and turned my feet onto thy testimonies.
Stop right there. It says, I thought on all my ways. This is something you have to think of yourself. You have to look at what's going on. You have to analyze what's going on because it's getting worse and worse. And then the ages get less and less on who unalives each other. Kind of. It gets less and less on, like, the ages is getting lower and lower. If you look now in the media, they got kids rapping like they are grown people. Like, they got kids talking about how they gonna unalive somebody. They got kids talking about smoking on somebody. I'm talking about 8, 9, 10 years old. This is going across my Instagram feed almost daily. And then you know what I do? I go immediately to the comments. And what you got? These coon niggas, Slocky, these coon people egging these little kids on, man. It's disgusting, man. They ain't teaching these kids how to be a man. It's more to being a so-called black man than carrying a gun or smoking drugs or having sex with whores, man. It's more to that. You know, you are a royal people. That's why that's another reason why I wanted to join this troop. I wanted to be that example because my old friends, they know I was a menace. You know, but I thought on, like this says, I thought on my ways. I thought, like, dang, what if I was to, get unalive today, what would the Lord ask me? What would the Lord say to me? And one question stuck out in my head. Well, what have you done? And so I got to thinking. Well, I was a real menace, a real terrorist, if you will. Not a real terrorist, but I was a real hoodlum. I used to, chase people, stuff like that, So I said, man, I did a lot of bad. It's time to start doing some good. It's time to start living for the right reasons other than, the negative. I wanted to be that example for people to look up to or to see, oh, they do their thing without the drugs, or they do their thing without, terrorizing people, read that one more time, man. Psalms 119 and 59.
I thought on my ways and I turned my feet onto my salakia. I thought on my ways and turned my feet onto thy testimonies.
You have to think. You have to realize, man, what have I done? You have to ask yourself, what would the Lord ask me if I was to get unalive today? What would the Most High ask my spirit? How would I be judged if I was to get unalive? How would I be judged? Well, he gonna ask you, well, did you listen? Did you listen to the voice because he definitely sends us a voice. If you in the 12 tribes of Israel, it's definitely that voice in the back of your head. Like, it deviates you. You about to do something that you're not sure about. It's definitely like the cartoons, how that evil thing on this shoulder and the angel on this shoulder. That's how it is in real life, but it's in your mind. You about to do something you're not so sure of. One voice is saying, I don't think you should do this, man. But then on the other hand, the voice saying, yeah, do it. For what's their favorite saying? You only live once. Mm-hmm. What, carpe diem? You only live once. And then, what enhances that voice? The drugs. Anything negative enhances that. So you end up going to that one side, we're talking about you only live once. Not to mention the negative influences that surround you. I noticed this one thing, man. When I started to change, you know what I'm saying? when you start to change, you look at everybody around you like, man. And then it don't even start there. It start little by little because I started to change, and then I start putting little things out there to my guys like, y'all want to do this, y'all want to do that. No, man, I'm good with this, you know. So I'm like, man, me and these people really not the same, but we are the same, but we not the same. You know what I mean? Cause I want better than this weed. I want better than just chilling out, hanging out every day. We need to, find ways to just get that step up further, go up and up and up. You can't just stay right here, stay in one spot. You have to figure out a way, to keep climbing up that ladder, to keep doing positive things. It's not easy. Nothing worth keeping is ever easy. Nothing worth doing is ever easy, you know, but it's worth it. I'm so thankful that I was able to come into the ISUPK. It's not even funny, man. It's like that's a whole nother story. But yeah, man, you have to think on yourself, man. Think about the people that you're around. If you see yourself changing as you getting older and ain't nobody else changing, then something has to change. If that makes sense.
Right.
If you feel yourself changing and the people around you not changing, something has to change. You know, and that's something that I definitely felt coming into this truth and like a little bit before coming into this truth, because you can't be, especially with things going on. You look at the news, you see us in a negative light, and positive things going on out here. Like when we just went to that event, it was a lot of positive things people was doing. They was saying that they, got these organizations, this and that, but we don't see that on TV. You have to physically go somewhere to to hear that type of thing. But what do we see on TV? We got us arguing, fighting, uh unaliving, doing drugs, negative stuff, man. Nothing but negative. Our women is half dressed. Our men dressing like women. It's so sometimes you look at that stuff, you be like, man, ain't nothing on here every day but the same stuff. You got somebody gonna guarantee somebody gonna be arguing. Guarantee somebody gonna be in somebody else's business for sure. That's all they do is be in other people's business on the line, on net, on the internet. What you gonna run into scamming people? Everything negative. You know, but what? But it's so much little positive things that you have to do so much digging to look for. Sometimes it's right there, but most of the time the positive is buried by a lot of negative. So that means you looking through a whole bunch of negative, then you just get tired. Right when you about to get off your phone, you see something positive. Like, oh, well, that's cool, you know. But then after that one positive thing, 20 more negative things right down your timeline, man.
Right.
So you have to think, man. Think and come out of that stuff, man. The grass is greener on the ISUPK side. Trust me. We get you clean up in here. We got online classes. We got counseling, food programs. Any ailment that you may have, we got counseling for you to get off them drugs or get out of that negativity and come to a positive thing, which is building our nation in the ISUPK. Can you read that one more time before we move on?
I thought on my ways, and I turned my feet onto thy testimonies.
Think on your ways, man. You can't be content with smoking the best weed every day. You can't be content with smelling just smelling like weed. Now, that's how I knew if somebody that smokes the weed trying to give you advice about this here, Bob, you gotta analyze that. Like, bro, how you trying to give me advice when you got this ailment of weed? Like, the plant is stuck in your head, bro.
Right. Like the resin is marinated in your fucking
yes.
hair. Like you can smell, man. You can smell brothers that he's got done,
Mm-hmm.
burning and blunt, and it just smells bad now. You know what
Yep.
I mean? The
Definitely.
breath sting, they fucking smell like an ashtray. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I want to drop that though and get First Samuel chapter 2 verse 3. Then I'm get a brotherhood scripture or two, man. Because
First Samuel, that's on Apocrypha, right?
no, that's in the KJV. I'm gonna grab a couple of. I was gonna say a couple of these news feeds, but man, it's nothing but negativity, man. You got people being unalive. Some famous rapper from Milwaukee just got unalive. His name, two of them, by the way. Name was Jig and Selly. Unalived in a double shooting. And this was on Monday. Like, then under that, you got just fraud, scams. And then this something big right here though, because in this location, this where we hold our camp at, the Titonian Capitol.
Mm-hmm.
That Walgreens right there,
Mm-hmm.
it announced that it's about to close. It's about to close that Walgreens.
Oh, because of the shooting?
No, it didn't. The shooting didn't happen at Walgreens. This is just a separate. This is a different. Yeah. Matter of fact, let me read that real quick because it's in the article. It says Walgreens announces closure of Titonian Capital Drive store in Milwaukee amid community concerns. Now this what the dispatch said. Another Milwaukee Walgreens at Titonian Capital is closing down, leaving locals distraught. Frequent thieves plague the store.
Yeah, in Portland, they shut down a lot of WalMarts
Mm-hmm.
because of robberies.
Yeah, and I know. Let me just finish reading it. Then now I'm gonna talk about it. It says frequent thefts plague the store, impacting the community reliant on its services. As the third closure in months, residents face a loss of a neighborhood staple, sparking concerns over access to essentials and elder care. Now, man, this ain't the only Walgreens that I've seen that got frequent thefts.
Mm-hmm.
It's one on I think that's 91st and Good Hope. Man, I done seen a dude. Like, what is security there for? This, if you're gonna have security, it's supposed to be men security at the door. Cause what a woman gonna do if a man come try to steal something? What's she gonna call the authorities or something?
Right, and then a lot of those securities, they're burnt out too.
Off the weed and stuff like that. And that's a crazy thing where, man, if you security, if you on Shamar, and we call it on Shamar, man, you supposed to be alert. Anything that go down, you supposed to be the first one to notice and notify somebody. Or notify, just keeping us aware of somebody's looking suspicious over there. You walk into Walgreens, what you see? The woman security right here on her phone like this. Like, bro, you're supposed to be looking at people. You're supposed to be standing up, alert, showing your authority and dominance. And then it mostly be short women. How you a short woman? And I don't mean get on my sisters like that. But y'all got to get out of these security jobs, man. Y'all not stopping nothing. Y'all not intimidating at all. Y'all have to get out of these security positions because what would happen if a man like men do? That's probably why this one being shut down. What happened if men come in there, ransacking the store? Still, you just gonna the women security guard just gonna be standing there. Mm-hmm. As far as a man or two, they gonna think twice about trying to steal from there. They're gonna think twice about trying to run in and steal, especially armed security. Brothers ain't trying to get shot over nothing.
Right.
But a woman security, especially a short woman, and then on top of that, not paying attention. Oh, it's freelance, baby. Right. It's just like this joint ain't got no security.
Right, and usually those shoulder women, they're kind of elder too.
Mm-hmm.
I seem like they're a little older.
And then what's going on when the security guard lady got colorful braids and she ain't finna stop nothing. She just in it for the money.
Mm-hmm.
But that's another story. But what I was saying was that Walgreens on 91st and Good Hope, man, I done seen a dude, bro. Me and my rib. We in there. Well, I forgot what we was getting. We was I think we was getting some type of icy hot, some that to for back, some type of back stuff, some icy hot, something like that. So we in there, you know what I'm saying? The icy hot right next to the wash dishwash. I mean the clothes washing liquid, the Tide stuff like that. Man, this dude came in there with a buggy. He filled the buggy up and walked straight out. Security sitting right there behind the door. Like, what you supposed to be securing this stuff, man? It's bad. And then not to mention, man, this ain't only going on here. Like in different states, they running out of clothing stores. I done seen, and that's something we can talk about right there. They running in malls, taking stuff. Like smashing this jewelry thing with hammers and taking the jewelry in malls. So you mean to tell me malls don't have security no more? Like what's going on? It's something going on.
I know if I could, I know like in Portland, like in Targets, like Target shouldn't be like that, but it's so bad that in Targets you got men with rifles. I mean, you got guys like walking around securing like outside, inside, like they're taking it's twa because they're taking that job serious as you should because your life, your
Hired to
life's
do
on
a
your
job.
hands. You know what I mean? And yeah, so in Targets and stuff like that, they have men with rifles and stuff like that. You got men with pistols walking around the store, which is wild, but it's just like it's crazy, man.
It
It's
makes
Target.
people nervous.
Yeah, it makes people nervous, but it's like it's the crime and it's so high. The thieves, the robberies are so high. So you gotta have armed men when the groceries ready.
Right. In locations where it's closed and stuff at, like,
Yeah.
it shouldn't be like that. You should be able to go in the store, buy something and come out without being followed by people in the store or even watch. You know what I'm saying? If you know you ain't about to steal nothing, if you going in there legitimately trying to get something.
Right. I mean, even if you're trying to get something, like, for example, the ice cream and stuff like that, they have all that locked.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Damn.
I mean, but then again, it goes right back to what you were saying earlier. Is the drugs.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? You need to get your fix. You gotta get your drugs.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You're addicted. You're not thinking clearly anymore. You don't care about your life.
Yep.
You might be on a suicide mission.
And trust me, them drug dealers, they do take merch.
Yeah.
They do take merch. You
They had the best deals in the world.
Exactly. Because somebody that just took this stuff, they don't care how much they give it away for, as long as they get what they came for is in the drugs thing. They don't care how much it is, as long as they get their quick fix, and that's something that uh, last scripture we pull, you have to think, man. Think. Get off of these drugs, man. Everything that you set on fire, put in your body that alter your mind, that's a drug. Don't let nobody else tell you different. I know Cat Williams talking about it's a plant and it grow like that. I know these people influence you because it's legal in some states. That's what they want you to think because look, it's a trap. Say you ride somewhere and it's legal to purchase marijuana somewhere. You get pulled over. The police talking about, oh, I smell marijuana. Even if it's legal, they can still pull you out your car and search that joint. Just because.
And if I could too, and a lot of the people that are under the influence, man, you're not thinking clear. You might have forgot something.
Mm-hmm.
You might have forgot to take something out of the car, or you might have something illegal.
Exactly.
But you're not thinking straight because you're under the influence. So when the cop pulls you over because it smells like weed, now you're going to jail or something else.
Exactly, and not to mention if you gave your drug dealer homie a ride somewhere, he left a bundle or something, a weapon in your car or something that got some bodies on it or something. You going down for that, or either you going down for that or you finna become a snitch. And that's them both. It's both offensive to both parties. If you go down for that, you mad at this dude. If you snitch on that, he not the only one mad at you, but the rest of the gang mad at you now because you snitched. Like it's man, it's just wake up, Israel, because you can't win out here being negative or even being on drugs or being around people that's on drugs because you never know what they've done and forgot about because they was on drugs, or you never know what they got in their pocket that fall out in your car or something like that because they're on drugs, stuff like that. It's okay to visit the homies or whatever, but you can't be around them people because what is one of the sayings? Birds of a feather flock together. You are who you hang around. And that's one of the reasons I definitely had to leave the homies behind because I just seen these people, these niggas don't want to do nothing with their life. Salaki for my language. The homies just want to smoke weed, play the game, terrorize, get girls in that order. Nothing else new. They don't want to do nothing. They don't want to get land. They don't. It's not evolving up here. It's like their mind just got to a certain point and it stopped right there. You know. You got that scripture for me one time? The First Samuel chapter 2 and verse 3. Well, hold on, Salaki. Let's see if I can get this cup right here. If I could, Salaki, y'all. You good. All right.
Talk no more, so succeeding proudly. Let not
talk no more exceedingly proudly.
no
Let not arrogant.
Yeah. Not
Arrogance.
Arrogancy come out of your mouth, for the Lord is a God of knowledge, and by him actions are weighed.
See, it says, talk no more exceedingly, meaning you can tell people what you did or what you didn't do, what you plan on doing, but that's arrogancy. Don't talk with arrogancy because it said by the Lord, actions are weighed, meaning you have to show that you even putting the first foot forward by putting them drugs down, by putting that pork down. Stop celebrating these wicked holidays because they all became into fruition on bloodshed. Every single one of them. Do the research. Show the Lord that you actually trying, because if you just in this book, you just in this book, then you like, man, I'm done. I'm done for the day. Let me go smoke. You just erase everything that you just learned because it clouds your mind and you went right back to the drugs, meaning you don't believe nothing. You have to get off these drugs, man. That's something that's definitely plaguing our community. It always has since the 60s or 70s, maybe even 50s, because I know it went from what at first it was the 60s with the marijuana heavy. Was that the sexual liberation era or something like that, where them hippies and all that type of thing in the 60s, or was that the 70s?
I want to say probably 70s.
All right, so at first it started with that 70s. Then what? 80s, the crack era.
Right.
Crack and then heroin. Not to mention all these other things like the powder, the
pills.
The pills. I think that's more of a 2000s thing.
Probably.
Yeah, because at first, well, let me get there. It was 80s, the crack and the heroin and the powder and stuff like that. Then 90s with Dr. Dre now. It was all. It was the crack, the powder, the heroin, and weed mixed together in the 90s. Then what happened after the 90s, 2000? What they was doing? Ecstasy, oxycontin. All these you can't ain't nobody mentioning no oxycontin no more. Ain't nobody mentioning no ecstasy no more. What is it now? Molly, Percocet,
Right.
and then Xanax, and then not to mention none of them other drugs stop. So it's all that mixed in now. So you got weed, uh, crack, dope, heroin, powder,
shrooms, DMT.
Yeah, I was gonna mention that because that was in the white neighborhoods, and we don't do those type of things. But yeah, that's part of it too. Yeah, the LSD, all them hallucinogens, all that stuff mixed in now. So we got every drug since the '60s being done today, and so many people are passing away from it because either they ain't doing it right or they overdosing. And then now it's a new thing, fentanyl. I ain't never heard it. It might have been out here, but I ain't never heard of fentanyl to what 2019, maybe 2020. It probably been out here though, but they wasn't mentioning it like it's they coming. Is now.
It's coming.
Crazy.
The West Coast is flooded with that shit.
Man. Craziness, and I'm glad I came into the Isupk when I did, because all the synthetics, the fake weed and the fake pills and the fake, oh, we forgot to mention lean. That been here, but it wasn't used as a drug. It's medicine. And now they putting it into the raps where now they making it cool. Everybody moving slow and going to sleep mid combo. Trust me, I witnessed it.
Right, and you can't just drink lean alone. You gotta have your blunt with that too.
Exactly. So now you extra sleepy. Yeah. Then you trying to operate machinery behind it. Mm-hmm. Good night. It's just a recipe for disaster, man. They destroying us every which way, and we have to wake up and. And First Samuel says, actions are ways. Show the Lord that you riding for him. Salaki. Show the Lord that you on his side. Show the Lord that you at least trying by first stopping a major thing that's a major ailment in your life. Then the rest of the building blocks will fall. That's how it always. You have to go day by day with it. Don't let that voice call you back into negativity. Back into the drug game, back into the, and trust me, man, the people on the block gonna look at you like, man, you changed. But then that's when you gotta say, yeah, I changed for the better, man. Because if the change don't start with me, who is gonna start with you? Y'all don't want to change. Y'all want to keep yourself and me in this same area of negativity, which is the hood. If I don't start to clean up. If I do start to clean up, maybe that next generation see me clean up and don't even go down that path. Or maybe I can tell the next generation the path that he going down is the wrong path, and you don't want to go down that path. Stay on the righteous path. Or go take it even lesser than that. Now that you offer the drugs and offer that stuff, you can hang out more with your son, your siblings, the younger generation. You can give them more game, and they won't be looking at you like, man, this is high. He's just telling me this because he high. You know what I'm saying? I know I used to look at people like that when I was little and smell the drugs on them, and they used to be trying to tell me, stop be looking at them like, really? But really, it's going through one ear and out this ear. Man, he just saying that because he high. You know what I'm saying? And I always used to think about that as well. Like, man, what can I leave behind? What can I teach the younger generation below me other than, because they gonna pick up on this stuff. When nobody taught me how to smoke weed. It was just there. I just picked it up. Nobody taught me that. So what can I teach somebody that's actually gonna help them in the long run? What can I teach them that's actually positive, that help them prosper or just be positive. You don't have to something negative, something positive. You could just be walking down the street, take your sibling one day, teaching them about the scriptures or something, teaching them how not to go mess with these people and mess with these people, or hanging with, telling your niece, nephew, or son or daughter, I'm gonna hang with y'all today, just to see what they talking about, then give them that game. No, y'all don't want to do this. Y'all want to do this. They not going to be looking at you like, man, this dude is high, bro. Why is we looking at this? Why is we listen to this dude? I know that's how I used to do it as a youngster. I used to look at people like, man, we in the basement full of drugs. This nigga trying to tell me something positive. Bro, go on with that, man. It's crazy. But, yeah, by the Lord, actions are way, man. Put those words into action, because that's what's going to be weighed by the Lord. You're not going to just get in by just talking about changing. You have to put actions to those words, and you're going to start to feel different. Because trust me, once you put those drugs down, you get a boost of energy after so much time. So many times, you ain't going to be thinking. It go start by day after day, because day after day, you're not going to be thinking about that stuff. Once it gets so far behind you, you're going to be reminiscing like, man, I used to be so lost. I used to be so high, but now I don't even need that stuff. I can, enjoy things without being high. I can enjoy things without being, under some kind of influence.
Yeah, if I could too, is like once you sober up and you mature, like you look back and you're like, man, I missed so many good opportunities, but I was high.
Exactly.
I couldn't do it.
Exactly.
I was gone.
You ain't lying neither, man. And that's heavy what you just said, man. Because that made me think of the opportunities that I had, but I was high, bro. I thought, man, I'm good where I'm at, or I didn't even think that. I was just thinking about talking to the person that's giving me these opportunities, but in the back of my head, man, I can't wait to go out to hit this blunt. I can't wait to go get high again. As soon as I get high, I'm going to go over her house and, do these things. Mm-hmm. When this man in front of me trying to give me an opportunity to better myself. Right. But what happened was I was just high. You look back and you realize, man, I messed up a lot of opportunities, bro. Mm-hmm. But then maturing is realizing you can't get none of that back. So you have to start from then on and make positive decisions after that. It's an eye-opening experience, and it's also good to wake up out of sleep, if you will. It's good to, look back at the old you, because it's stages. It's stages in life, Got anything you wanted to bring up? You seen anything?
Yeah, I mean, kind of like once you mature, right? Like in the very beginning, like coming to this truth, especially it depends how deep you were, like how lost you were. But once you come out of that and you look back and you look at your friends that you had, man, like you can see how much you matured.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like reading the scriptures, it brings maturity. You know what I mean? It brings growth, comes with strength. You know what I mean? And it's just crazy because you look back at your friends that you were looking up to, and you already surpassed them.
Mm-hmm. Yep. In life, in spiritual life, physically, everything. Emotionally, like you get stronger as a whole. You know what I mean? It's and then after that, you are able to go back and try to bring them in too, and that brings me to this next scripture, if you could, Philippians. I think it should be in the KJV. I'm not sure. Philippians. I haven't looked at this scripture in a while, but yeah, it's in the KJV. Philippians chapter 2 and verse 12. Because you can go back, you know what I'm saying, to the homies or whatever and try to bring them in, try to, cast that hook, you know what I'm saying, reel them in, fish them in. You can try that all day. Yeah. But if they don't want to do it, if they don't see nothing wrong with what they doing, if they don't got a problem where they at in life, or they don't got a problem with what's going on with their people in life, they just gonna continue on that path, man, whatever they was doing.
Yeah, and I want to say too is like that's how like once you decide to change your life, once you decide you're gonna serve the Lord, like you really gotta. As soon as you come in, you gotta just take off
Mm-hmm.
because like let's say you do got friends in the world that you care about, but you just in the truth just kind of just chilling. You know what I mean? And years will pass by. You know what I mean? And now that you eventually got the knowledge and the wisdom and the strength and the parables behind all this, like you like man, cause you know that it's, at least some people know when you come into the truth. Like man, I want to get this knowledge. I want to get myself right first, and then want to bring it back to the hood and get everybody out. But
Mm-hmm.
it's like sometimes like some people takes longer than others. You know what I mean? And when
God.
you and once you look back at your boys, it's like you almost have I don't know I don't know how to explain it, but it's like you felt like you could have done something. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And now you got the strength and the understanding. It's like when you look back at your boys, it's like it's almost you feel almost hopeless for them because they're so lost into what they were doing. They're
Mm-hmm.
so deep into what they're doing that it's almost
Exactly.
impossible for them to come out.
Exactly. Then if I could too, um, and sometimes, man, you tell the homies so much, and they just not gonna change. It's like, man, why am I continuously trying to get these people to
That's true.
get out of their ways?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I think there's a
It's
scripture on that too that you can only tell them so much, and then just kind of back out a little bit.
mm-hmm. But every time they see me, I keep humming that same tune, but I'm not finna be chasing them like I used to. I'm not finna
Right.
be trying to come on, man, come man, skip all that, come in, come in, come in. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You know, because it's like, man, you beating a dead horse, or you talking to a wall that
Right.
literally wants to be a wall when it's more. You can be something else other than a wall. You know what I'm saying? It's I'm literally a prophet trying to speak life into somebody that wants to be not alive. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They don't want to be not alive. They just the Walking Dead.
Mm-hmm.
They ain't dead or alive. They just content. They just content on whatever they doing, whether it be.
Yeah. There's even some that can't really see the light at the end of the
Mm-hmm.
tunnel, so they're just like they're hopeless. Cause there's some people that they're like they can see in advance, right? They're like, okay, all I
Mm-hmm.
gotta do is get this job. Once I get this job, I want to do this and do that, do this and that. So I can eventually get to that. There's some people that can't even see that far. So when
Exactly.
they slip once, that's the end of the world for them right there. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And they just go back to what they're used to. You know, the self medicate. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that self medication becomes like addiction. So you just getting, you just what's that word? You just I don't know. You're just relapsing.
Yeah. And
You know
then
what I mean?
sometimes they go into their own shell. Like
Right.
once they go back into a shell where can't nobody get in, let nobody in. But sometimes it takes more than yourself to heal yourself. Like it takes a lot of people to give you
Mm-hmm.
that positive outlook, the
Yeah.
positive advice, a place to where you can come,
Mm-hmm.
ask questions or whatever the case may be. You can't do it by yourself sometimes. And then that's another thing. It's like sometimes people, when you offer people help, they just don't want the help. It's like, man, I'm trying to get you into a better place in life, and I don't even have to be doing this every time. But the Lord put something on me where I just have to every time I see the homies, or because sometimes the homies still call me or whatever,
Yeah.
and I'd be like, man, come to class, man. What up? I'd be like, what up, man? What you waiting for?
Mm-hmm.
The end of the world or something, bro? Come on in, bro.
Yeah. They just think that like coming into the truth for some weird reason they'll think like it's kind of being a square because you're not partying with the homegirls and the homeboys
Mm-hmm.
and you it's kind of like you were stripped from your status. All that
Exactly.
hard work that you put in the world to lose it all, to be a nobody in the truth, to clean up after everybody else, like they don't take it into consideration, and you be like, you know what, I'm cool where I'm at. You
Right.
know what I mean? I'll see you from a distance. I hear you from a distance. I respect what you're doing,
Mm-hmm.
but
it's not for me.
It's not for me.
Yeah, but and then and that's heavy that you said that, because like what I was saying earlier, nothing worth doing is easy, and we ain't telling you that it's easy. You definitely have to. That's why I went to this scripture for it too, because you definitely have to think on your ways, put into action, and this is all off the top. This ain't even what I wanted to talk about today. I wanted to get into some brotherhood stuff, actually, what the class would be about. But the Lord just put a spirit on me because I thought about the homies, and I thought about what I did this weekend, which is go to certain different places and see these things.
Hey, you should talk about that too, what we did. You know what I mean? How we spoke with politicians and
we went to a couple judges was in there, some aldermen, a lot of people in powerful positions, but they wasn't speaking in the tune that we were speaking in, which we were speaking in, saving our people. They was more about getting it into the community for everybody and helping people. All kind of people all kind of people don't need help. Like the Arabians, for example, they got gas stations and businesses to fall back on. The Africans got gas stations and businesses to fall back on. The white man owns these companies. Right. Like, how did he need any type of help?
God, yeah, if I could, they weren't really hitting the root of the problem.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I can't really blame them for that, because you get that knowledge once you come into the truth. You know,
right.
Like, like the root, what's the cause of all this madness and all this disaster and poverty and slavery, because of the scriptures, but they don't know that. You know what I'm saying? So they just see things from the outside. They're trying to help everybody else but themselves.
Exactly. And then what made it so funny, like we'll turn the leaf, is we's in the bottom of a church, right? But they was not selling, but they was cooking up some pork. Now we all know the scriptures say you can't eat pork and touch pork or whatever, but it was a couple pastors in there eating the pork. So we like, oh yeah, the truth definitely needs to be spread in this room. And big ups to I was about to say Captain ZQ. You on your way to captainship, ZQ. But big ups to Officer ZQ, man.
Right.
He what is it? Paraphrasing. Be harmless as a dove, but wise as a serpent, or something like that. He definitely did that. This past Saturday at that event, man.
Right.
Because there's so many things that he could have said that
he wanted to say.
Yeah, that he wanted to say, but he, I ain't gonna say tiptoe with that line. He structured it well, shall I say? We still got out of there in a positive. Nobody wanted to kick us out like we usually do get kicked out of places for speaking the truth. But big up to ZQ. But yeah, we was the only. They had programs and stuff for everybody, man. But this program, ISUPK, is only for the Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. And we do recognize that the so-called white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of. No matter who try to get me off of saying that, I'm gonna keep saying that, Unk. But yeah, can you read that scripture real quick?
You said 2 and
Philippians chapter 2 and verse 12.
Verse 12. Whosoever, my beloved, as ye have always obeyed, not as my presence only, but now much more in my absence. Work out your own salvation with fear and trembling.
See, the scripture says, read that one more time.
Wherefore, my beloved, as ye have always obeyed, not as in my presence only, but now much more in my absence, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling.
See, it says, Wherefore, my beloved, as ye have always obeyed, not as in my presence only, but now much more in my absence. See, we obey him when he was here in his presence, but now in his absence, he wants us to obey even more because we know this is a perfect example. This is a perfect example right here. So, say you got some kids at home or whatever, um, the mom leaves, for whatever reason, she goes to the store or something. Now the kids is acting up. They ain't doing what the mom told her to do. But that's not how the Lord wants us to be. He wants his rules and law, statutes, and commandments to stay in place. So when the Lord leaves, he wants us to continue to obey these law, statutes, and commandments. It's not when he leaves, now we acting all out and acting wild, because what happens? The mother always hears about what happened. So he gonna hear or even see about what happened. Well, what have we done in his absence that we wasn't doing in his presence? If that makes any sense. He wants us to obey as much as we did in his presence, in his absence. And it also continues to say, work on your own salvation with fear and trembling, meaning I can tell you to come in here all day, man. I can tell you, man, put those drugs down, you know, put all the negativity behind you and start living for the Lord. I can tell you this out my mouth a million times, but you yourself have to put the action to it. I can't do it for you. That's what it says. Work on your own salvation. You're supposed to work on your own salvation. I can tell you all about it. I can tell you to come in here. I can tell you to wear all black. You know what I'm saying? I can tell you all kind of things about the scripture, but I can't make you do anything. You have to.
No, go ahead.
Oh, you have to work on your own salvation. You have to want to do this yourself. Not even want to do this. You have to fear the Lord. Fear the Lord's consequence. Because look, even in real life, I was going to say in real life, even in your life, let's make an example. Okay, you got a mother and father. The father says, take this garbage out, sweep this, and wipe these walls down. I'll be back. I'm finna run to the gym or something. I'm finna run to the store or something. I want this done before I come back.
Right.
Because the consequences of if you don't have that done, it's consequences to come behind that because I just told you to do something. That's what the Lord is saying. Fear them consequences, man, with trembling. Because ain't no wrath like the Lord's wrath, man. I just did that little analogy to put an example into in your household terms, because the father tells you to do something, you better do it, or there's consequences behind that. If you don't do it, something's gonna happen because you didn't do it.
Right.
And that's what happened with us. We didn't do that so many moons ago. Way back then, we didn't do those things that he said do. Now we still in our captivity because of it.
Right.
You want to say something?
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, sometimes, man, like, you can tell, for their own good, hey, watch out for this, like, don't do this anymore, don't get high anymore because this is that might happen. You can tell them all that type of stuff, but sometimes we're such a hard-headed people.
Exactly.
We gotta learn the hard way
every time
until it happens, and then you tell them, hey, bro, what did I tell you was gonna happen?
Mm-hmm.
I told you this was gonna happen, and it happened. It's not until then they're like, yeah, you do have a point. You know what I mean? It is making sense what you're saying now. You know what I mean? Like, we gotta bump our head so many times to actually take consideration what we're teaching. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And then also, I'm paraphrasing right now, but he did say he stretched his hands to a rebellious people. We are so rebellious. And you know what enhances that rebelliousness? the drugs. Like
Yeah.
everything comes back to drugs. Like I said, especially the weed. Like once you smoke some weed real quick or something, any type of rules or whatever that anybody tell you, just gonna do this. I don't care. I don't care. Cause you be high, you don't care about the consequences.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that enhances the rebelliousness. That's why it's so dangerous for kids to be smoking this. Because Salaki, uh, could you sit right here real quick and teach a little bit? Or like,
Yeah, come.
all right, Salaki, I'll be right back. The water. My bad. Come here.
No, so I'm gonna take over a little bit until it comes back. But yes, it's really important to listen to what we have to say because as time goes by, man, things are only getting worse. Like we talked about earlier about the drugs. You know what I mean? Drugs is just it's out of control anymore. It's everything is laced with fentanyl. He was talking about smoking weed. You know what I mean? But I heard even marijuana is laced with fentanyl. You know what I'm saying? Like you could get unalive with just a tiny bit of fentanyl on your blunt. Um, you know, coke. That's also a plant too, but it's a drug. You know, but even with coke, there's fentanyl in it. You know what I mean? You can't. It's like you can't escape the wickedness that's coming. It's coming. And it's coming hard, man. I don't know how many. I think it was 100,000 people was unalive or just fentanyl alone, and that was probably last year. You know what I mean? Because this fentanyl is brand new. Is barely hitting the streets, but look at the damage that it's done already. And I already told you it's laced with marijuana, it's laced with coke, it's laced with heroin, it's fentanyl's in everything now. So we're trying to tell you to sober up and stay away from all the drugs because one way or the other, you might get unalive because of these narcotics. All right, he's back.
All right, the water. Salaki on me. What was you saying? So I could just.
No, I was just talking about how you were saying about weed and we're trying to tell them to get right. You know what I'm saying? Because the fentanyl is going to come in and just wipe them all out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like I think it was over 100,000 people that got unalive within last year, and fentanyl is brand new.
Mm-hmm. Not to mention, man. I mean, I'm pretty sure we did mention it, but we gotta elaborate more on it. But the synthetics, the fake stuff, the fake drugs. Like people used to doing real drugs, and once they get this fake stuff, it either mess up their body or it attacks them in the mind as far as like, man, this ain't no real stuff. I'm finna go do something to this dude because he sold me this fake stuff. You know what I mean? So it's like it.
Yeah, I mean, people are getting unalive because of that. Because you're paying for some real stuff, and he gave you some bunk.
Exactly, some fake stuff, and you just
and you bought it to sell it to make money, and now you can't do nothing with it because it's fake. It can come back and bite you in the rear end. You know what I mean? You sell it to the wrong person, he's gonna come get you.
Exactly. And people don't want to and say you the dude that's you always got the good stuff or whatever. Now you got this fake stuff. People looking at you different. Your reputation and your customers go to somewhere else. Now you lost money. Now you ready to find this dude that sold you this fake stuff. When you could just stop doing it altogether. You know what I mean? It's different type of hustles than just selling drugs. You can start a business. You can say you in a city like Milwaukee. Milwaukee, it gets cold and it snow. Well, you can start a business, a lawn service, during the summertime, and then when it becomes winter, start a plowing service, start a plowing business. And then other things, whether it be security, you can get a cleaning business. I work for a cleaning business lady. Um, what else? Moving, 2 men in the truck, anything other than selling poison in her neighborhood, man. And that's something that has to stop if we're gonna move forward as a nation. If we're gonna come back to our royalness, as a people, because we can't be high and be royal at the same. We can't be under the influence and be royal. It's either or, like the scripture say. You can't be lukewarm. That's lukewarm stuff. That's cold stuff. You supposed to be hot. You gotta be hot on this shit. Like, we royalty, man. I never seen somebody that's royal be high. I ain't seen no king, no princes, what they be having over there in Saudi Arabia or whatever. I never seen them high before. I never seen, who was that? The lady that just passed recently. Queen Elizabeth of England or something. Never seen her high. Never seen these people high. So why would you even want to be high? That's for the bottom of society. Right. We have to rise up from the bottom to be placed on top. We have to climb that ladder. It is never going to be easy. And I think I'm going to say this every class. Nothing worth doing is easy. Nothing worth doing is easy. Coming into this truth, definitely not easy, but it's definitely worth it. You know what I mean? Can you read that one more time? You still got that? Yeah, read that one more time before we go ahead and move to one of these.
Wherefore, my beloved, as ye have always obeyed, not as in my presence only, but now much more in my absence, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling.
Work out your own salvation. Now, the scriptures before that, it goes hand in hand with this. What did I say before that? Think on your ways. You know what I'm saying? You have to think, man. Look, how would the Lord perceive my spirit if I was to get unalive today?
Right.
What would the Lord say or have to, or questions to, or questions? What would the Lord have to say to me? What's these things what He would ask of me? Like, and for example, like, what have you done? Who have you helped? And what I see the answers is most of these people, nothing. I ain't do nothing. Oh, so that means you wasn't fearing the consequences. And my people so arrogant. No, I wasn't fearing the consequences. Whack. Yeah. They literally say I was not fearing the consequences. Whack, you're dead. Whack, right. You're unalive, Salakia.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And if I could too, like a lot of these brothers and sisters, man, they're Christians. You know what I mean? They say that I believe in God. I love Christ. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But that word love, it requires an action.
It definitely an action word.
And then also I was thinking about this too, like even being sorry, I think it requires an action to the Lord. Because if you were sorry about the way you were living and things you were doing, your action is going to prove that you're sorry to the Lord. You're showing the Lord that you're trying to change. You're doing this because of Him. You're gonna go through the trials and tribulations because of Him. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So by your actions, you're showing them that you really are sorry for the things that you did. You know what I mean? So you're gonna go through whatever you got to go through to show Him that I'm sorry. Like leave me some space up in the kingdom. Like, hey, I don't care if I'm the last person that chariot. Just get me up there. You know what I mean? So whatever I'm going through or whatever the trials and tribulations I'm going through, I'm showing you that I'm sorry because I want to continue serving the Lord. You know what I mean?
Con, that's definitely heavy what you just said. Like, both of those words are definitely action words. You can't just be throwing those words out just for feeling's sake. No, love is an action word. You have to show, like I said in 1 Samuel's, actions are weighed. Just like in a relationship, somebody continuously saying they love you, I love you, but ain't no action behind that. You know what I'm saying? That's just going in one ear and out the love. Well, I don't do that feeling stuff. Where the action at? Right. You know what I'm saying? Because if you love me, you wouldn't do this to me. If you love me, you wouldn't, treat me a certain way. You know what I'm saying? It's an action word, and definitely being sorry is an action word, or apologizing is an action word.
Right.
Because you can say that all day, but okay. But how is you showing me that you sorry? How is you showing me that you apologize to me? It's both. They definitely on the same hand. Love and sorry. They definitely on the same hand, because sorry, you have to prove that you're sorry. Love, you have to prove that you love.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's definitely heavy.
What's crazy is too, Salaki, is like both of those words are used so loosely.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Oh, I love you. Oh, I love you. It's like it just like there's no meaning behind it because it's being thrown around so much. You know what I mean? Even being sorry. Like sometimes you say, "Hey man, I'm sorry," just so that we won't be talking about what just happened. You know what I mean? Like when you say you're hearing in the truth, when we say we're sorry, man, we prove it that we're sorry. You know, and being sorry, man, just saying sorry or saying Salaki and it's truth, man, it's so important. Because man, like sometimes man, you have to go through the ups and the downs to really gain that brother. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And by you being sorry, man, like you can say, "Yeah, it's Salaki, it's Salaki," you know what I mean? But if you're just saying Salaki and you ain't really proving yourself that you're sorry, you know what I mean? It's pointless.
It's just pointless. You're just wasting breath.
Right.
Because you have to, and then if the offense was, what the word I'm looking for, if you offended me so heavy, and then you just say, "Oh, I'm sorry," that doesn't nullify that you just did this to me. You have to make up. You have to make up what you just did to me by actions. Because I'm always think of that. I'm always thinking, man, he did me like that, and he or she really didn't care about how I felt, or they said they love me, but they really ain't doing too much to change or to do this or do that. So you gotta realize, man, they were just saying that in the moment. So you can skip on to the next day, forget about what they did. No, I never forget. Especially if I feel like the action that you put forth to nullify or for me to get over that, I'm never gonna forget that. And it never gets old because you didn't do nothing. You just said a word. That's just a word unless some action get put behind it.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's crazy. That's heavy that you said that. Man, that is crazy.
That's the like in the world, like coming to a brother, depending what type of status or who you were or what you done, like for that person saying sorry is like it's like, why am I gonna say sorry to this dude? Forget about that dude. You know what I mean? But it takes being mature. It takes growth. You know what I mean? To come to that brother. No matter what rank he is, you know what I mean? You offended that brother, man. That brother got love for you, man. You guys are both in this truth, struggling together, you know what I mean?
Right.
So when you offend that brother, no matter what rank you is, you come to that brother and you say Salaki. And don't just say Salaki. Prove what you're saying. You know what I mean? Because words don't mean nothing anymore, man. Oh, I love you. Even when you're going out through, I love you. Hey, girl, I love you. Even when the text, hey, I love you. Like, it don't mean nothing. You know what I mean? You say sorry, just like you're just trying to avoid the consequences.
Yep, or avoid me ever bringing that shit.
Bringing it back up.
Yeah. And then also, what you have to put aside is your pride. Stubbornness. You could be so stubborn and lose something good. You know what I mean? You could be so prideful and lose the respect of somebody that's worth having their respect over. You know what I mean? Like it's and our people are so prideful, not the broke rich kind of prideful. Prideful where they think they don't have to apologize for nothing or have to show action behind their apology because they like, man, well, me saying it is just enough. No, saying it and meaning it is two different things. That's just like me, say, man, I can't use none of that.
I mean, if I could too, you know what I mean? It's kind of like even the ones receiving the salakia, it's like once you see that brother saying salakia to you, and then you already see his actions. You know what I mean? Like it's like it hits different. Like man, that brother is a real brother. Like he's coming to me like a man. He said salakia. He's showing me that he's sorry for what he did. You know what I mean? That makes you want to like be more of a brother to that brother, even though he did you wrong. You know what I mean? There's some brothers like, oh, all right, yeah, you apologize, all right, cool, but they still hold that grudge against you. Mm-hmm. That's not right either. Right. You know, that brother's going out of his way saying salakia, and he's showing by his action that he loves you, he cares for you. You know what I mean? And you just like ignoring that. Like, man, you don't know what this brother. You know what I mean? He's coming to you like a man, man. So receive him like a man, and treat him like a man. You know what I mean?
Not to mention though, and another thing too, if somebody show you that this who they is, then you have to believe them.
Yeah.
You can't give them that chance to do the same thing again to you. You have to believe, especially if something go down or something, and this person tell you, well, I don't do that. You can't expect them to do that. Or a person told you that, or showed you that they ain't, worthy of the. I don't want to say worthy of the respect. They ain't worthy of the action that you put forth because they did you wrong before. You can't fall into that same trap again.
Right. You
have to take a person and realize, oh, I can't, he told me he ain't gonna do it, I can't ask him again. You know what I'm saying? Or he told me that he was salaki and then he do it again, so I ain't gonna ask him that same thing again. Or even with relationships, like somebody shows you that they don't really care, or whatever the case may be.
Right.
You have to. That's something. It be the little things.
Yeah.
It be the little things that you have to zero in on and kind of nip into like your database in your head. Like, oh, I felt strongly about this, and then I brung it to you, and then you kind of brushed it off like, oh, that's nothing type
right.
of thing.
But you don't know what it's gonna do.
Right,
though.
right.
You upset that little bro, even little things,
Mm-hmm.
But you come at that brother and know, man, that offended me. You know what I mean? And he just like, brother, like, man, yeah, all right, sloppy.
Right,
but that right there to him, he's like, you're not a brother, man. You know what I mean? So you already have that bad intentions,
Yeah, that disconnect, if you will. Yeah. But that goes again too with actions are ways, man. That love and that sorry, those are action words, man. You have to put action between showing these people that you apologize, or even showing somebody that you love them. There's action between that comes with those words. You can't just be saying that freely, and that goes for brotherhood, sisterhood, or relationships. You know what I'm saying? That it's a big thing because you don't know what it took for that. He could have been outside of this truth. This dude could have been a kingpin of Zimbabwe somewhere, but then he coming to you, a low ranking man or whatever the rank is, saying that he's sorry when he never had to say this. He was, that takes something tough to do too. Even women, and that's the thing that I notice nowadays too. Women women rarely say that and mean it. Right. Like they do say it, but they don't put the action behind it.
Right. They're slippery with it.
Yeah, because they so prideful, and that's something that the so-called oppressor put into our women head to be so prideful when they're supposed to humble themselves.
Right.
You a woman, you're supposed to be soft and stuff like that. Like you've been tough all throughout your years now. Now that you in a relationship, it's okay to let that guard down. Mm-hmm. It's okay to be humble because somebody backing you up or somebody got you. You're not out here by yourself, even if you think you is. But that's a whole nother class which I meant to expand on that last week. Now I gotta push to next week. Regarding the women or the sisters I wanted to speak about. But this ain't no sisterhood class, man. This is the brotherhood class. This is a class of brotherhood, man. And man. I'm glad we got a little bit of more time. I could throw a couple of scriptures in with the brotherhood. You had dropped that and give me. I'm gonna just do probably like two or three more
All right.
before the time. Since I ain't get to Matthew, no, Salakia, Luke chapter 6 verse 31. Yeah, I want to speak about a little brotherhood. You know what I mean? Yeah. And what I see today in the media, they do not show that at all. Even though it's two black men arguing with each other, they saying this side gonna do this to this side. That's not brotherhood, man. Forgive one another, man. You know, like we said earlier, show them actions that you forgave them, or show the action that you were sorry or you apologize. Mm-hmm. Show that action, because that makes it mean that much more, and that actually makes it mean that you put effort into showing this person you want to get over this, or you know what I mean, put that behind us and move forward.
Right. Because if you don't, Satan's in between that brother and you.
Mm-hmm. And then he in both of y'all head. Like, man, right. He didn't do it. You know what I'm saying? I feel this kind of way. Then the other dude, man, what am I even saying sorry for to this dude?
Like, exactly. Like, he couldn't even be real with me too when I was trying to be real with him.
Mm-hmm.
Coming down to, showing him some brotherhood, and he didn't receive me as a brother. He just brushed me around,
Exactly.
Like it wasn't nothing.
Like it wasn't nothing. You can read that whenever you got it.
You said 6 and 31?
Mm-hmm. Khan Adawan Khan.
Khan, chapter 6, verse 31. And as ye would, Salaki, and as ye would that man should do to you, do ye also to them likewise.
Basically, what they've been telling us our whole life, man. Treat people treat a man how you want him to treat you. Right. You know, because that's showing brotherhood. You know, look out for that man's well-being. You know, y'all going to a store or something. You know, we do everything in ranking order or something. Don't never let a man go by himself. You know, accompany that man. Be on if he going to the store, be on shamar for him. Right. If you go into the store, that man should be on shamar for you. You know what I mean? It goes both ways, you know. Treat him as an extension of yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then regardless of the rank too.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, just because the officer is offers of 10,000, and you think he got everything under control, be on shamar. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Don't just stand there and say what's up. Like, watch out for him. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And even if you're a captain 10,000 and the troopers in the bathroom, you know what I mean, and you're being shamar on him, show their brother the same love. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Just because you're top ranked, just because he's a trooper, like, he don't mean nothing. You know what I mean? Like, have the same energy.
Right. That's and that kind of leads into decently in order, because well, I don't really know if that tie into it, low key, because
that is in order. You know what I mean? To watch over your brother. Isn't one of the greatest love what Christ said is give your own life to your own brother?
Yeah.
I mean, you just never know.
Right. You just never know the dangers that could be around the corner. You know what I mean? That's why you have to look out for your brother, man. You know, yeah, like you said though, going into a bathroom or say, and I've been in the little nightclubs when this happened before. A brother go follow this lady over there to the corner. He come back, hey, come with me real quick. Just go with him. Mm-hmm. Even though it's not no girl for you or whatever, just be on shamar, because
it goes down in the bathroom.
Yeah, it goes down in the bathroom because ain't no cameras in there. Yeah. It might be a little it might be a bathroom attendant, and that depend on where you going and how high end the club is. But they can be bought. Mm-hmm. You pay them a little something for them to say they ain't seen nothing. They ain't seen nothing.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I mean, you could have you could be in the bar with your brothers, man. You got a nice big old da looking real tawab. you know what I mean, feeling good, and then you go into the bathroom, not letting any brothers know you go to the bathroom, and you see some guy is in the club just for the wrong reasons.
Mm-hmm.
People like, man's gonna come up off that chain. As soon as he comes in there, I'm gonna go right behind him.
Mm-hmm.
He can go right into the bathroom, come right behind you, man, and just either pull a pistol on you or hit you back of the head, take your chain, and just walk out.
Exactly. That's why we got that 2-man rule, man.
Mm-hmm.
We showing that brotherhood, and we trying to strengthen it even more by bringing brothers in to expand on this brotherhood, because we all brothers and sisters at the end of the day. We all come from the tribe of Judah. If the tribe of Judah, the tribe of Ephraim, what else is it? Issachar, Gad, Zebulon, Simeon. We all of this royal, and it's a few that I forgot to mention, but I'm sure y'all know who y'all is. Just basically showing that brotherhood, man. Because if we don't show ourselves brotherhood, who else is?
Right.
Even in the armies, in the navies, they
right.
look after each other and stuff. So you mean to tell me we ain't better than them? We should be better than them, right, and more disciplined, because if they got orders to fire upon us or to, right, fire upon people that look like them, they will do it. Right. But us, we won't do it. Right. We will lay down our life for our brother or our sister, and that's brotherhood and sisterhood.
Yeah. And if I could, we gotta show more brotherhood with the 12 tribes, because the world hates us.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? All these other nations hates us. So we have to understand that, and we gotta love our brothers so much more, because whatever he's going through, you're going through it.
Exactly. And you know why they hate us though, right?
We're the salt of the earth. You know what I mean?
We are the chosen. The Lord chose us.
Better.
And they be, I hate to say it, but they got jealous on their heart, on their mind. They jealous, and also, you know how when you in the world or something like that, you walk past either with the good cologne or with the good chick, somebody sitting back and saying, man, I could take that dude chick.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I could, rob this dude or whatever the case may be. Make him look like a straight in front of his girl. She gonna come with me then. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like in any type of aspect of life, you got that hater behind you.
Mm-hmm.
In our cases, every other nation outside of the tribes of Israel, they hate our guts, but they like our revenue and our money, and they like the business we bring.
Mm-hmm.
That's how we should be towards them, because we built these other nations' businesses up, but then we look at our own like, man, y'all cost too much, or you know what I'm saying? It's some type of excuse not to shop with our own, and that's not brotherhood.
Right.
At the end of the day, that's not brotherhood. Brotherhood is, hey, you want that much for that price? Hey, okay, I'll take that and that. Helping out the next brother or sister. You know what I'm saying? Right. And that's what I like about the South Side too, though, because it's a lot of Issachar stores over there, ran by Issachar and owned by Issachar. But when you come over here, it's like you have to really search for a Judite store, a black-owned store. You have to really look in the trenches for that. But as far as the South Side, you can find somebody Issachar owning, furniture stores, car lots, and that's the best thing. To me, that's the best thing about the business in Milwaukee.
Right. Israel's really on the South Side.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like Israel,
yeah.
The Israelites are on the South Side.
Mm-hmm. We over here too, but we don't own as much because we ain't got the mentality. Yeah. You know what our mentality is? Selling them drugs.
Yeah.
Holding knots of cash.
Unaliving brothers.
Robbing, running in people's houses. Taking women that's not ours. Like we have to get on the mindset as Issachar is on the South Side. And that's coming from a Judite, man. I lived here my whole life, and that's the only, I probably seen like maybe two or three Judite-owned stores on this side of town. Mm-hmm. But on South Side, they always had their own stores over there.
You know what I mean? I was gonna say like one thing that we gotta do, Judah and the rest of the tribe is instead of just take, is reinvesting.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? We got to reinvest in our neighborhoods.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? We can't if we're complaining how bad our neighborhood is and you ain't doing anything about it. You just taking, and you're throwing trash everywhere. You know what I mean? Like it starts from your home. You know what I mean? You gotta take care of your own neighborhood.
And then it's a saying too, like silence is approval. If you're not saying nothing about this, then you agree with it. You going right with it. You have to stand up, use your voice as like a trumpet, is what the scriptures say. Right. You know, because if you don't say nothing, it's just like it's like going along to get along. It's like look, it's like as long as it don't come to this doorstep. Right. But then as soon as it do, you ready to say something and go crazy over that. Like no, you're supposed to say something before it gets to your doorstep so it won't ever come to your doorstep. Right. Or whatever in whatever case, whether it be violence, gentrification, because you know them Esau buy your crib and move you right out. Yeah. So like it's not funny, but it's kind of messed up. You know what I'm saying? Because then just like
and then they'll buy your whole block.
Exactly. Yeah. That's how, like, if you go on North Street, like around Sherman and North, once you get past that, where the police station at, going that way, it's nothing but Esau over there. It used to be black all over there. You know, and I know you got Maritime Barrett stay over there. Cause me and my nephew was driving one day. I had my nephew in the car. I seen Maritime Barrett nigga Salaki jogging around the block. I'm like, bro, that's Maritime Barrett. I got him on video and everything. Like, he's safe to jog around these blocks, and that's not far from, you know, where the guns get shot at. You know what I'm saying? Where the cars get broken into at. So he's somewhere in there feeling safe. You know,
ghetto, right? Because we're Israel, everything we put our hands on is just great. You know what I mean? It seems like they throw us in the ghettos. We make the ghetto striving. We make the ghetto popular. Like, and then next thing you know, the Esau be like, man, I threw them in the ghetto, but hey, that ghetto's actually pretty nice. They go in there and just take over that shit. You know what I mean?
And that's funny that you said that because, you know, like I said, I lived here my whole life. You know what I'm saying? They got this place called Hillside. Now, Hillside, bro, used to be one of the dangerous places where you can go. And that's right near where the old Buck Stadium used to be at. Like, right almost downtown. You couldn't even walk over there in the nighttime. But then as the years got older, you know, as they started rebuilding downtown, they started gentrifying that area. So now it's more Esau over there. It's more, you know.
Yeah, downtown. I was there last night.
Man,
I was walking around in downtown. That's beautiful.
It didn't used to look like that.
Gorgeous.
Believe me.
I was like, wow. Clean streets.
Exactly.
I was like,
but they can't use some of that bread that they try to doll up downtown, make it a tourist attraction, and all that to fix some of these neighborhoods. That's how you know Israel. We have to wake up, man. Get from under these people's foot.
If I could too, I think we're talking about this 2 classes ago. You know, the Bucks. That's like a big money making. The Bucks, Green Bay. You know what I mean? Like all that money they're gonna be making this year, man. Like they gotta reinvest.
Exactly.
I mean, the North Side needs them. You know what I mean? All the players in the Bucks are Judites.
Except Giannis, he African though.
Oh, he is African.
Yeah, he African. I mean, his brother African.
Right.
Yeah, but they got a lot of Judites. Then Lopez, he Isupk, I think.
Yeah, that's a new player too, huh?
Lopez?
Yeah.
No, he ain't new.
He's been in the Bucks.
Yeah, been on the Bucks for a minute, but yeah, but like it is mostly Judites and a couple Isupk. Like and that's why a couple classes ago too, when we said I think it's in the contracts that they can't help us.
Right.
They're getting so much cheese and cheddar they can't throw that back into the hood, and that's a reason why they trying to. Cause I watch basketball, so that's a reason why they making foreigners more popular over Judites. Like as far as right now, the top people in the league is a couple Africans, Esau, and low key two Esau's, two Africans and two Esau's, which is
From
MB.
Houston, huh?
Huh?
The dude from Houston, he's like 7 something.
Houston.
Yeah, there's a. I don't know if he's.
Oh,
African.
Wembe, he in San Antonio.
San Antonio, yeah, San Antonio.
Yeah,
Texas.
him, but they foreign though.
Yeah.
Him, Giannis, Embiid, Jokic, and Luka.
Hey,
These people not from the States, bro, but they all
right.
in top running the MVP and all of that type of deal.
Slocky, this kind of off topic. You know, I know you watch basketball. I'm trying to get back into it. What you think about the Isupk, the rookie from Houston?
I haven't seen him.
Oh, okay. I'll show you later.
All right, yeah, but they trying to make it so the foreigners be on top and the Judites, stay in the trenches, man. Because if you ask me, this off topic too, Salaki, if you know me, I gotta say one or two things about basketball. Jason Tatum, man, this man been shredding for years. He ain't been, and he a Judite. He ain't been in no talks of no MVP or nothing. And he made it to the finals a couple, if I'm not mistaken, a couple times with the Celtics. Him, Kawhi Leonard, who else? Low-key, LeBron ain't even up there no more within the makings of MVP. And they love him, don't they? They making the whole league about LeBron and he broke this record. Oh, it's a record. But he's still not in the top ranks of the MVP list voting, you know what I'm saying, of the league, because they trying to make it's the replacement game, if you want to be truthful about it.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to replace all Judites with foreigners and people of other states. I mean, other overseas countries and things like that. But how much time we got left on this?
We're done. 2 hours.
With that, Salakia, this is the ISUPK coming out of 1 West Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana. And we are not affiliated with no other Israelite groups, period. I am Officer Kananya. That's Officer Ayar. It's the ISUPK. Shalom, Israel.